Welcome to another episode of Terrible Dog Trainers who are occupying my TikTok For You page. This is one of the worst sessions I've seen in a while, so do stay tuned for some drama, but I'm also going to, of course, get a little educational and teach you guys about dog body language, what this person thinks they're doing versus what they're actually doing. So if this is a topic that interests you, please stay tuned. But let's let it play first and then we'll jump into it.
Yes, excellent. Okay. Yeah. It looked like he was. I thought he was giving up, but
This
he
is
didn't. You're
terrible.
right. Keep going.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just
Well, let's
oh
stop for now
no.
because that was a lot.
Jeez Louise. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what the trainer thinks that they're doing, based on the philosophy of dog trainers that I know that train like this. I don't know this trainer personally, but I did read up on a little bit about this particular session in the comments and also in the little uh, paragraph that she wrote about it. So this dog right here apparently doesn't like to go outside for walks, which is not usual for dogs, but I've bumped into it quite a few times. Typically, a dog that doesn't want to walk is dealing with a lot of anxiety. And that anxiety could be something that they were born with. Some dogs are just more anxious than others. It could also be something that the owner has projected onto the dog. So I've seen that a lot too, where somebody, like, they're just kind of a very anxious person and the dog becomes very anxious too. Regardless, this dog, I think, based on the information I have, is probably a little anxious about going outdoors and doesn't want to walk. So this dog trainer, in their philosophy, is we're going to make this dog as uncomfortable as possible. And so the dog will learn that as soon as the dog takes one step with one paw, then I'll make them not uncomfortable and that'll get them to want to walk. I know. It's so bad, guys. Do you see what I'm dealing with right here? You guys see what I'm dealing with? My God. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. Okay. So let me explain to you about something about building up drive versus building up fear. Okay, so this is fear-based training versus positive reinforcement and building up drive, right? When it comes to fear-based training, we are purposely making this dog really uncomfortable. Now, the owner might not know what to look for in terms of the body language, so I'm going to point some of that out so you guys know what to look for if you are hiring a trainer and they're explaining to you all these in these big layman's terms, because that's what they do, is they try to make it a lot more fluff than it actually is. Really, all they're saying is, I want to make your dog uncomfortable so that they do the thing that you wanted them to do. That is literally the idea of balanced fear-based training, okay? Not actually training. It's just making your dog completely more neurotic than they already were. So let's point out some of this body language right here. Okay, so we are tugging on this collar. We're pulling the collar. And so the idea is, again, they're trying to make the dog even just take one step to eliminate some of this pain and discomfort. Now, do you see this whale eye right here? Do you see this? Okay. In my dog training textbooks, I learned that you do not ever approach a dog that's doing this. Okay. Because they are one step off from attacking or biting somebody. Okay. And honestly, in this kind of situation, I can't blame the dog because you're being kind of a douchebag to your dog right now. But this dog will eventually bite either the trainer or the owner, based on this body language I'm seeing right now. This dog is severely uncomfortable and they will avoid the fear and the discomfort in any way that they know how to, which in dogs' language is biting. Okay. So the other thing I want to point out too is the tail is tucked a little bit too, which I think probably most of you, that's pretty common knowledge about the tail being tucked, but this dog is just not having a great day right now. So let's keep this going. I'll point some more things out.
Release. Yes, excellent. Okay. Yeah. It looked like he.
Okay. So again, with the whale eye, we are pulling back as much as we can, and our body is really stiff. This dog does not want this trainer in the house, which to me is like not really what I want as a trainer. If I come to somebody's house, I want the dog excited to work with me and excited to see me. This dog is going to remember this trainer and they're not going to want to participate in their training sessions probably ever again. And I can't blame them. There's one thing this dog does shortly after she releases, and I will point that out. So give me 1 second.
I thought he was giving up, but he didn't. You're right. Keep going.
That was good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, took a step. Okay, right there. You see that? You see that flick of the lip right there? Okay, the tongue is out licking his nose. That is a sign of discomfort. So the dog is still very uncomfortable despite the fact that you let go of this pressure that balance trainers love to use. That term, applying pressure. Dogs understand pressure. No, they don't. Okay. All this dog knows right now is this person's in my house and they're pulling me, and then they stop pulling me, and now I'm just exhibiting other signs of discomfort. Okay. This dog is completely disassociated and not willing to, they're not going to walk. This isn't going to work. Right. But the flick of the lip like that, when they like lip their chops a bunch, that is a sign of discomfort. That is not comfort. They're not, okay, it's not relaxed. It's the exact opposite. I'm not sure what this trainer told this owner, but this dog is still very, very, very uncomfortable. Okay.
So let's stop for now.
And then the licking keeps going. Well, at least she acknowledges that was a lot. Okay. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what I would do instead of this terrible training session and how I get a dog that doesn't want to walk, that has a fear of the outdoors, that is very anxious. How do I get the dog to overcome that fear and start working outside? So to answer that question, the first thing that I would do is build confidence and trust. So I would actually not do a whole lot of basic obedience training. So I wouldn't do any sits or down stays or anything like that. I'd probably spend the first few sessions kind of hanging out and actually ignoring your dog, which sounds kind of weird, but dog trainers out there who actually train dogs, it probably makes total sense to them, right? You want to create a space where the dog can come to you. And to do that, what I would probably do is maybe just sit on the floor with them and just talk to the owner like everything is totally normal, like I'm meant to be in their space. Of course, I would have some treats or a toy in my pocket that I can give them as soon as they come to me and reward them for coming to me. I also recommend maybe having some puzzle toys out for them to engage with while I'm hanging out with you. And slowly they can learn to trust me. Okay. Once I've got their trust, now I'm going to start working on basic obedience and confidence building. So when I say basic obedience, of course, I mean your sits and your downstays and your leave-its and things like that. Okay, that's going to be included, but I also want to build up that confidence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them engage with objects, scary objects around the house, the vacuum cleaner, brooms. Okay, I'm going to get them to start approaching things that make them a little bit nervous. And now that I've built up their trust with me and the owner, we can do this together and we can help guide the dog in learning how to approach these scary items together. Again, if the outside world scares them and they don't want to walk, we want to build this up slowly, right? I would also tell the owner in this process to start not necessarily going for walks, but just kind of go outside in the front lawn. I don't know what kind of situation this person lives in, if she lives in an apartment or a house, but as close as you can get to a front lawn, even if it's just outside, if you live in a city, if you just want to go on the block and maybe hang out with your neighbors, do things like that. Stop concentrating on trying to go for a walk and do things like that until the dog gets used to this big, scary environment like the city or, wherever it is you're living. The suburbs typically aren't scary, but if you've never been there before, they could be. The dog could be completely overwhelmed. Okay, so you're going to do that very slowly, and it's going to be a process, but by the end of the process, the dog will be excited and happy to go on walks rather than just fearing this discomfort that you're showing them if they don't go on a walk, which is just creating a lot more anxiety. the reason why I even started joining this conversation on TikTok and making YouTubes and things like that was because I started to see a pattern. I started to see a pattern of people who came to me after trainers like this. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. Okay? I'm not saying that because I want people to think I'm like the greatest trainer ever. I don't need to tell you any of that, right? I have the confidence that it takes to be a good dog trainer. And I have the knowledge and the understanding and the patience as well. But my frustration with dog trainers like this has gone through the roof because I'm tired of people coming to me with dogs that are completely screwed up from a trainer like this who did even more damage to the dog than initially had. And it's got to stop. So I'm going to keep these videos going until it stops. So I'll see you guys next time for whatever crazy trainer on TikTok I see. Stay tuned for that one as well. Thank you for tuning in. I love my crew. I love my followers. I love my crowd. I love my team. Take care, guys. Cheers.